I started watching Love Island season 7 because of Huda. That clip of her that went viral when Jeremiah recoupled with, I think it was Iris, and she was so heartbroken. When I saw that clip, I was like, girl, I feel for you. Because that feeling of having your heart crushed, I feel like anyone, doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what age you are, you will always be able to relate to that feeling of having your heart crushed. That was when I decided to watch Love Island. Now that Love Island's over, girl, I need to talk to you about a few things. In the beginning, I really liked Huda, you know? I felt like she was the first very obvious like girl's girl. You have probably heard that word way too many times. Maybe you're sick of it already. I love a girl's girl. What's a girl's girl? To me, is basically someone who would support you, but they would not be afraid to be real with you and tell you what you did wrong. Back to the beginning, I felt like Huda was very genuine. I feel like the very first signal that I got that she was a girl's girl was when she told the other girls when the boys basically stood up, wanted to recouple. She told the girls, y'all deserve better. And all I was like, don't do that. I think Allah is just a very genuine person who is very honest, and she will not be afraid to tell you what you did wrong. She's a girl's girl in my opinion, but she has a history of being misunderstood, but I do love Allah. Back to the beginning, back to Jeremiah and Huda. I was not against them like closing things off early. They told everyone that they are still open for connection, but did it look like they were open? No. When I saw them exploring their connection, I didn't really see it as a red flag because, you know, some people prefer to explore one connection at a time, and there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't really see the love bombing thing. To be honest, now looking back at it, it was not just Jeremiah love bombing. I think they were both love bombing each other, and we all know that love bombing does not end well. You know, it feels good to get love bombed in the beginning because it's fresh, it's new. If you really think about it, what do you know about that person like in 24 hours to really tell the other person that I really love those parts about yourself? I mean, you. As we all know, as soon as Love Island was over, Huda went on CHD. I cannot genuinely bring myself to finish the podcast. Did you finish the podcast? I cannot. Maybe I'm not fully informed on the situation, but based on all the information that I have, because I did come across a lot of comments, discussions, and clips from the podcast itself. I've also watched the show. I hate that I saw so much of my teenage self in Huda. This is how I'm going to approach this topic because it's the only way I'm able to talk about this without just throwing shade at her for no reason. When I was a teenager, I saw the world through a very distorted lens. You know, it was always me versus everyone. I had a huge ego. I might still have a huge ego. When I was a teenager, nothing could have ever been my fault. Everything that went wrong in my life is because someone else made that happen to me. I believe this behavior comes from lack of accountability. When I was younger, if I did something wrong, the punishment was very severe. And I'm from an Asian household, and all my Asian friends out there, you know, sometimes it gets ugly. And because of that, I did not want to take accountability for things that I've done because I don't want the punishment. And this explains the me versus everyone behavior. Does that justify the behavior? No. Also, when I was in me versus everyone mode, I sort of just like explain things to hope that others would understand my point of view. Sort of like, oh, you have to pick a side. And picking a side, we all know that as a teenager is very important. It's like, it's going to make or break a relationship. Right now it's more about, okay, I understand where you come from, but can we compromise? Do we still match? Back then, it's not like that. If you don't pick my side, you're not my friend. It was not nice. And I gotta say, you know, I only listen to people who sugarcoated their criticism. And I will give you an example from the show. It was between Nick and Huda.
So I just wanted to like kind of get your side of things.
Okay. All I've ever been told is it's just a challenge, nothing's personal. It wasn't like I want Ace, like I'm trying to get with Ace. I'm not trying to do that.
I do see your point of view. I think like the line was crossed definitely at Ace. That's like straight up opinion. I just want to let you know, like, I really am here for you. I just don't want to feel like you're alone in this.
Maybe sugarcoat is not the word. I don't know. It's like a burger. First layer is, okay, you know, I'm here for you. The patty is, I don't think what you did was right. And the top bun is, I'm still your friend. Burger. You get what I mean? But as soon as we get to the patty, the middle part, you are already losing me. That means I will not process what you said. I will only take it as an attack on my part. Why this happens is because lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, I believe. I wasn't able to really dissect people's words and then to decide what they said actually brings value to me or not. AKA, a criticism did not bring any value to me as a person whatsoever. Only someone who takes my side brought value to me. I think this is very, very important in life to understand and differentiate people's words. Some people say good things, but actually those things are not good for you. We can't just always react based on certain POV or based on people taking certain sides. We also cannot live as a sponge, just absorbing everything. Do you know someone who just like throw things at people, deflect their problems onto other people? Yeah, their words almost certainly 1,000% don't mean anything. However, someone who is very honest with you, someone who is not afraid to lace all the facts to you, it might not sound pretty at a time, but if we're able to really dissect and understand their intention, their words, those things could bring a lot of values to us. Like my mom, you know, my mom, she does not sugarcoat anything. When I was a teenager, I was like, this woman is evil. Last point for this, we all watched what happened with Huda and Chris's last date. Girl, my god. I don't think Chris was an a-hole for wanting to distance himself and for not wanting to carry Huda. However, you know, when watching some of the clips when Huda was recalling the scene, I just don't think that she remembered things as it was. You know, same goes for me. I still remember things the way I want to remember it because it supported my decision and my character at the time. I feel like this video is doing more bad than good for my character. Oh boy. I don't think that Chris is not a gentleman for not carrying her after they decided to mutually remain as friends, not besties. Do you remember those relationships in high school where they tell everyone like, oh yeah, we broke up, but they're still very flirty with each other, and then one of them finds a partner and the other one gets so heartbroken and emo about it? You see my point? Don't breadcrumb people. Breadcrumbs or breadcrumb? It's right for him to want to maintain a certain distance from her. Doesn't mean on bad terms. It's just a mature thing to do. But if you try to do the mature thing with a teenager, it's going to be very annoying to that teenager. Imagine this. If Chris did this to Huda when she was talking, when she was explaining her side of the story, do you think that she would take it well? No, Chris basically just said, I don't appreciate this. But if the roles were reversed, I don't think that it would have gone like that. Just my opinion. That's almost all that I wanted to say. But I have one last thing. I thought that, you know, ultimatum is quite normal in relationships. Y'all, I know this sounds so f***ed up right now. Please excuse me. Like, listen to me. This explains the environment that I was brought up in and the relationship that I saw growing up. Does it explain I should carry on this behavior? No. It takes a lot to process everything that we see and learn from our surrounding. It takes even more not to repeat this cycle with our own relationships. When she poked at Chris to give him an ultimatum if he does not turn around and hug her, then she would not talk to him for the rest of the day. Maybe she meant it as a cute thing, but I don't think it was the time to be cute or talking about anything like that. Oh my god. I was a mess as a teenager. These are all the things that I could think of. Let me know what you think. What do you think that you can relate to Huda as a teenager? Because I don't think that I'm alone on this. I've seen some comments talking about this. So let me know down in the comments below. Last and final thing. I'm saying all of this not to justify Huda's behavior or decision making. I don't think that what she did was right to certain people. And I also believe that it's very important to talk about things without just criticizing, because heavy criticism is never the solution to anything. So I believe we should talk about it. We should be kind about it. We should be respectful about it, not just, you know, throw things onto other people, not just say things online without a point. And I hope that this video does not tarnish my character. I'm not a teenager anymore. Well, I try not to be, and I gotta go to work now. Bye.